Hello Stampers, I've got a fun little project for you today. Today I wanted to show you how to create shadows for your little trick-or-treaters in the Scary Cute stamp set. This stamp set is new from Stampin' Up! And it's perfect for Halloween cards. And so I just wanted to show you how to do these shadows, so I have a simple project for you today and we're going to get started right away. I have a 4-inch square piece of basic white. So I cut a 2.5-inch circle out of a double layer of Post-it notes using the 2.5-inch circle die from the Layering Circle die set and the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So when I cut it, just make sure that you cut it out of a double layer of Post-it notes. These are 3-inch Post-it notes. And I cut it out of as much of the sticky part here as I could when I die cut it. So then I place it on the top of my 4-inch panel here. Now all the dimensions for these panels are down below this video. Just click show more under the description and you'll see them there along with all the links to the products. Those links will take you directly to my online store where you can shop with me 24/7. Now we're going to start with our background. We have our sun all masked out now, and we're going to start with pumpkin pie ink and a blending brush. And we're going to blend this ink all over here and down, just a little past that sun, just so we get that full circle. I like to layer my inks when I'm putting in my background. I know that you can only see this pumpkin pie like down at the bottom part of this panel. So like right here is where you see the pumpkin pie, but I put it all over so when I layer my inks they blend together and you don't have that big stripe that you'll get if you just put a stripe of pumpkin pie right here and then put your darker colors. So that's why I put that all on there and they blend together really nicely. So there's pumpkin pie. I'm leaving the bottom white because that is where our ground is going to go. Our next color for our sky is going to be Cajun Craze. So we're getting darker here. And I'm going to blend this over like half of this sky area. And I'm using a circular motion so I don't just have a cutoff line there. If you used a back and forth motion, you would have a definite line. So circular motion. And there is our Cajun Craze. Now we're going to get darker yet. And I'm going to pull in some purple. I love purple in my Halloween skies. And this is Gorgeous Grape. So we're going to put Gorgeous Grape over the top of the sky. This starts giving you that night look, like night is just about ready to happen. So this is the time the trick-or-treaters are normally out, right? So there's our Gorgeous Grape on there. See what a pretty sky that makes. Now for our graphs, we're going to go in with Old Olive. And I like to leave a little white in between the Old Olive and that pumpkin pie. Kind of gives like a little misty look to your scene. Okay, so there is our Old Olive. Now I'm going to take off this sun mask and I'm going to use So Saffron And I'm going to blend So Saffron in that big white circle. I start in the middle and I just do a circular motion, clear out to the edge. I like it to be darker in the center and then get lighter towards the outside, and that's what happens when you start in the center. Okay, next let's stamp our trick or treat characters. I'm going to start with our little girl that's looks like she's dressed up like a fairy princess. So I have her on here, and I'm just going to put her right down here. I want to make sure her feet are in the grass. No levitating trick-or-treaters on this card. So there she is. And next we'll do this, I think he's Dracula. And I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black for these characters. So there he is. They're so cute. And then we have Frankenstein, it looks like. And we'll put him right here. And see how light my characters are right now? They could stand to be a bit darker. And that happens sometimes with the solid stamps. So I always have my Stampin' Blend Basic Black, the dark Basic Black marker out. And anywhere like this character, he's not quite dark enough for me, so I'm just going to color over him. My ink pad probably needs inked. That's probably why I have such light characters here. And it just takes a second to color over them. I don't do the small things like his feet or whatever. So there he is. Let's just go over our little Dracula guy here. He's cute. Go over the fairy princess so just a little bit here. That'll teach me to keep my ink pad a little bit better inked up. There we go. But that's all you have to do if you find that your characters didn't stamp really, really dark, because that's what you want for these silhouettes. All right, now for our shadows. Our shadows are so easy to put in. I got this piece of plastic out of one of the Stampin' Up sets. The clear stamps, when you put them, stick them on the inside of the case to match up with the pictures there, you end up with this piece of plastic, and that's what I use. Or you can use a just a window sheet, and I left the link for the window sheets down below, but this is free if you have, you know, leftover pieces from the stamp sets, which I like to save because you can use them for quite a few different things in your card making. So that's what I'm using. I have a piece of just clear plastic. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow for this part of our project. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this fairy princess. I'm going to get some of that black off of our stamp here. Just ink it up well with Mossy Meadow. Stamp it on the plastic. Then you can turn it over. And you're going to have her upside down when you turn her over. And you're going to match the feet up. And then just rub over it with your finger. You got to hold this really tightly so it doesn't shift on you. And there's your shadow. And then you're just going to repeat that process for your other little trick-or-treaters. So just to clean this, I just kind of rub it on my scrap paper. So next I'm going to do my little Dracula guy. come up with a mossy meadow. Line it up with my little character there. And you're really just looking for a shadow. Now these aren't going to be crisp images. They're going to be fuzzy, and that's what you want. You don't want a real crisp image. Okay, so lastly, we'll do our little Frankenstein here, just like we did the other images. So stamp it on the plastic. Now you have to do this quick. Just remember, you have to do it quick. Otherwise your ink will dry on that plastic and you won't get a good transfer. Now if you ever do that and it's too light, since this is a clear sheet, you can stamp your image again, ink it up, stamp it again, and then line it right back up and do it a second time. I think these are plenty dark, and it just gives you that look that there's a shadow there, and it's so easy, and it really adds a lot to your card. Okay, so there's the shadows. That's the main thing I wanted to teach you in this project. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment here. I'm going to stamp it on my sun, and I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black for this. There we go. Trick or treat, you're so sweet. I just love that sentiment, and that's right in that Scary Cute stamp set too. And then we need some bats, I think. I always have to make sure I'm not stamping my bats upside down. I have did that before in the past. That's not a good thing. They look a little strange when they're upside down. So I'm going to add some on this side of the card. I'm going to stamp it twice over here. There's once, twice, and again I think I'm going to use my black marker. I see that wing I didn't stamp well. I'm just having one of those days. It's okay, it's all fixable. Okay, so there's our scene all done, and it's ready for the front of your card. And I have a simple layout today. I have a basic black card base here, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then I folded it in half for a quarter card. And inside I just added a 4 by 5.25 old olive panel. And then I have a basic black panel that fits the front of the card. It's the same size as the front of the card. And I have this embossed, and I used one of the new embossing folders. This is quarter foil tile embossing folder, and it is really pretty. It may not show up real well on the camera. Sometimes the embossing doesn't show up real well on camera, but it definitely shows in your finished project. So I want this on the front of my card, and I want a piece of ribbon on it before I attach it. I'm bringing out this gingham ribbon again, this black and white gingham ribbon. And I'm going to put this down, about maybe 1.5 inches from the bottom. Then I'll flip it over, and I'm just going to tack the ends down to the back of the card using a mini glue dot on each side. Just make sure you press your ribbon down into the glue dot really well. There we go. And there is our ribbon on there. I was going to put a bow. I actually tried putting a bow on there, and it just didn't look right, so I took the bow off. But I do like this, just that strip of ribbon across there. I'm going to attach this to my card front. I use multi-purpose glue, but you use whatever glue you'd like. There we go. And then I'm just going to glue my main panel on here. This is a very simple layout, as you see. You could doll it up as much as you want. I kept it nice and simple because what I really wanted to teach was those shadows. And to give you just another thing for your arsenal for your Halloween cards. So there is our finished project. Oh, one more thing before I'm done. I almost forgot my highlights on my little trick-or-treaters. So I have a white gel pen here, and I'm just going to add highlights to the top of their head. So along her ponytail, on the top of her little wings there, along the top of her arm, and along the top of her little bucket, her trick-or-treat bucket. And I'm going to do the same for each of them. With him, I'm going to go over his collar here, and then along his arms, and the top of his bucket. Frankenstein has like a bumpy head at the top, so I did that. I'm going to go along his arm here, and along that arm, and then the top of his bucket. So there is the highlighting that I did, and that really brings those trick-or-treaters out and shows that the light is reflecting off of them. So there you have it. There's today's card all ready for a little trick-or-treater in your family. Thanks for joining me. I hope this video inspires you to try some shadowing for your silhouettes in your scenes, and get inky today. Take care. Bye.